Hey, how are you? How is your week? How's business? I'm so excited to see you here again for another episode of Business Savvy Sunday. It's me, Yulika Kimber, CPA, MBA, and business growth strategist. I'm excited to have you here and excited to bring you another episode and some more knowledge to build your business savvy. So, this week, I want to talk about the net profit formula. So, in your business, it's the whole point of us being in business is to generate revenue so we can improve our lives, take care of our personal interests, and make sure our families are taken care of. But there's a methodology to doing that. And one of the metrics that we look at is net profit, as far as knowing where we stand and how well we're doing in business. Some people talk about the success of their business, but they never talk about the numbers. So, one, I want to talk about the net profit formulas before I get off track, because I get excited and be all over the place. So, first is for the net profit formula is revenue minus expenses, and that equals a net profit or net loss. So, loss means that your expenses were bigger than the revenue. You see some businesses in the news today as a result of the COVID pandemic or even other outside influences. You see that it might be taking a turn, their businesses might be taking a turn or even filing bankruptcy. And that means periodically, consistently over time, their income has exceeded their revenue. So their revenue can't help them cover their expenses and help them plan for the future, so they don't see any foreseeable future as far as revenue gaining, and so they end up filing bankruptcy. But we are trying to avoid that. So revenue minus expenses equal net profit, and if those expenses are too big, then we're going to have a net loss. So let's talk about revenue first. So what is revenue? So revenue results in an exchange of goods or services for money, income producing activity. In some of my other videos, you'll hear me use that term. There has to be an income producing activity. There's sometimes you see people who are online, who have Facebook groups, who have social media followings, but it's not clear as to what their income producing activity is. What do they want the customer to do? For the most successful companies in our country, it's pretty clear what they want. They'll entertain us. They'll have a funny commercial, or they'll have a slogan or something that we might be saying or whatever. But it's always clear what their income producing activity is. So I'm not a marketing person. I don't build websites. But when you get into the talking to your customer, make sure it's very clear what your income, what value you're delivering to a customer so they can pay you. And so revenue can also be generated. It's in two different rounds. It could be one or the other or a combination. So you can sell products, be a product based on, we used to call that as goods. So you're exchanging goods for money. So you sell a hat or you sell a t-shirt, or you sell, you have a restaurant and people eat food and pay you, or you're a caterer or something like that. Or you can be a service. So my business is mostly, I would say 95%. I do have books, but 95% is service based. That means I do something for you that improves, that adds value to your life or to your business, and I get paid for it. So it's very important that you clearly identify what your income producing activity is. So that might mean you need to streamline, you need to figure out some things. So some people are trying to create followings, but it's not clear what their income producing activity is. So they're trying to have a bunch of different things. What are you doing that generates revenue? So let's talk about gross revenue. So gross revenue is an accounting term, and it's the top line of the financial statement or top line of the tax return. We want to know income from all sources that came from that income producing activity. So after you figure out what your business is, who you're selling to, we want to know all of the income, and that needs to be captured to complete that formula. Next thing is expenses. Expenses are all the costs of operations that a company incurs to generate revenue. So I'll pause there for a moment just to put a bullet point that every expense in your business should be related to generating more income. So if you're buying a Gucci bag out your business, it might not be helping you to generate more income. So you need to control the expenses of your business and just make sure that every expense. So if it's a website, do you need a website right now? If you're just getting started, you might be able to get by with just your Facebook page, because you don't want to incur expenses, because we talked about that net profit formula, net loss, net profit, net formula, the net profit within the formula, the expenses part, you don't want your expenses to be bigger than the revenue. So make sure that you're pacing yourself. And there's some things that can wait. Some things are free. There's so many free tools online now that you could use in your business. There are cheap business cards. There are inexpensive websites. So make sure that the expenses that you're incurring is covered or justified by the revenue that you're putting out. So the formula is pretty simple, but you may be asking, how would I track all of that? So you need two things to calculate your net profit on a regular basis. So first, I'll talk about the time. You need to be able to calculate this on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, and then on an annual basis, all the time. So that means you can't wait until tax time to figure out if you're profitable, because you're making decisions all throughout the year, and you need that revenue information, revenue expense information on an ongoing basis to even know, hey, I've been paying for this service, or I've been using this product for 3 months to try to help my business. It's not working. Maybe I should change something. You can't make the decision at the end of the year. You need database decision making within your business, and this formula will help you do that. So to do that, you need, yes, I'm still preaching on the separate business bank account. You need a business bank account where all income goes. So even if you're using PayPal, Square, or whatever you're using to collect revenue, to bill clients, it needs to be connected, and it can do that, connected to a business bank. It needs to end up in a business bank account. So I have a video on that. You can go, I'll link it below where we can talk about that, about the business bank account and how important it is. So all the income needs to go through there. So next thing, and you need an accounting system. So yes, I'm still, there's a method to my madness. You need an accounting system, because you might be wondering, how does this formula get calculated? So accounting system captures all of the income, all of the expenses are put into categories. So if you're paying your power bill, it's going to be categorized to utilities. Your revenue is broken out by client. That's the other thing. This information needs to be as a whole for your whole business, but you also need it client by client, because overall you might be profitable, but there might be some customers that are not profitable. So if you have let's say you have a grass cutting business, you're charging everyone the same thing to cut the grass, but Miss Joe Blow, I don't know why her name is Miss Joe Blow, but she lives 20 miles out. That means her net profit, the profit for that transaction it might be a net loss, because you have to spend extra money, you have to take extra time to get to her. So not only do you have to know your net profit for the entire business, but you have to be able to trace it to each customer. And an accounting system can do that for you. It's not hard at all. And people like myself can help you set that up. So I hope that's been helpful. If you ever have any issues or need training on anything specifically, anything in detail that I've been talking about, please reach out to me. I'm here to serve you. This is what I do for a living. This is what I love to do. I'll place my business contact information below. If you're ready to take your business savvy to the next level and learn how to create systems that not only just account for you, but also give you information about that net profit about the net profit and other metrics. There are more metrics, but this is all I can get into you today. I'm so excited to be here for you. If you have any questions about your net profit or what that means or how you can control it, we're going to have some future episodes. I think I'm going to talk about ways you can change that number up and down. But for now, I'm so excited that you tuned in, and I hope that you're getting more savvy. So please comment below, like, subscribe us on YouTube, make sure that you're following us. But I want to know how you're growing. I want to know if these weekly sessions, I get DMs, but I want you to post it on the page so everybody can see, because the question that you have, somebody else probably has it as well. And we want to make sure that we're actually growing together and we're understanding better what business is, how we make it work, and how we can have the information we need to make good decisions. So again, I thank you. Tune in next week because I'll be back. I'm not going anywhere. How about that? Okay, go forth, prosper, and keep doing great things in your business.